Greetings, and welcome to the Positive Tale. Right? Okay. I'm your hostess, Lesejo, and if it is your first time, welcome. And if it is not your first time, thank you for coming back and welcome back. Right. So today, I want to make this reading very quickly because from what I am seeing, it is talking about failure. And me, I like to talk about success. Failure and success are the same thing in inverse because I can say, instead of saying I have failed, I can say I'm not successful yet. You see. So, or yeah, I'm still on the way to being successful. Point being, yeah, it is the same message either way. The message is positive in the end. But yeah, I don't like to talk about failure. But anyways, getting right on to the topic of today. Okay, so the topic of today is the Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles represents suffering, loss, not having enough resources, not lack or even lack, yes, poverty. So when you are feeling that way in your journey to success, okay, so these are the cards which we will be discussing today, right? Cool. But yeah, zooming in on the first card. You have two ways that you can respond. And it's so interesting because when this card came out, okay, I'm just going to move these a little bit. When this card came out, I was like, how am I going to discuss it? Is it upright or whatnot? And it's so interesting because I could say it is a choice. So the Queen of Swords is that no nonsense type of queen, type of woman, right? So obviously, if you're a male or female, it really doesn't matter. But in the card, the energy that she embodies is that no nonsense. You know, one of my pictures just fell. Yeah, dropping things that don't need to be carried. Yeah. So when you are experiencing a loss, a financial loss, or a failure, you see, or just something that's not good, you have an option of keeping your eyes on the goal, of staying clear minded, being the queen upright, you see, cutting away, being very, very careful of what you think about, being aware of your thoughts, uh, actively choosing the attitude that you are going to embody and use and move forward with, right? Or you could choose the option of being the upside down queen, which can be very even upright. You can be mean, but like upside down it's kind of like the negative aspect. You see that, yeah, you can end up being sour. Yes, you have the choice of just being sour grapes, being mean, being bitter, yeah, cutting, not being not cutting off nonsense, but cutting off everything and everyone, and even the good things that happen in your life, cutting everything off, you see. So you have that option of how you're going to react, right? You can be either clear-headed about it, take a positive attitude or a productive attitude, or just be deep in your feelings, in your sourness, in your bitterness, and destroy everything and everyone instead of thinking of how you can move forward from it, right? So you can either rise or you can sink. And interestingly enough, actually, as these cards came out, I felt like these next two cards could be put like this, you see, with this one at the top, because these energies are very similar. They are like sub energies of this one, because the Five of Swords, it's kind of like, yeah, the kind of spitefulness, of just or sneakiness, or yeah, non-satisfaction, man. So when experiencing a loss or a failure, you have that option of of what you may call, of doing whatever that it is that you can do, right? um it's it's like a kind of sneakiness to some extent, like yeah, doing something at the expense of other people crying. Okay, so it is either like you can force the situation to be positive or to go your way. Like you can either cry about it or have a clear mind, or like even do unscrupulous things, or do things that are morally questionable, or do things that are quote unquote wrong to reach your level, right? Or you could just be bitter. You see, you can hold in a lot of resentment, because this one is also now this is a almost opposite, inverse message or additional message, same like the queen, right? So you could be resentful, yeah, just have those negative feelings, or you could accept. So like this is clearly the card of heartbreak. Yes, you can feel that heartbreak, but you can also accept the situation, heal from it, you see, and find a way to move on. So there are, failure is failure. There are different ways to respond to it. But if, okay, so now I'm going to move these cards. Excuse them. Excuse. Okay, cool. So the next two cards, it's a if. So now it's a matter of perspective. You saw, right, that there are two different perspectives that can be embodied. Either this upwards one or this downwards one. Upward spiral or downward spiral. So the five of cups is a card of pain. It's a card of crying, of mourning. It's a card of tears, right? It's a card of crying over spilled milk, crying over wine, spilled wine, whining over wine, right? So in at a time whereby you've reached a failure, or you've reached the roadblock, or you're not seeing a way forward, you have the option of looking at all that you have lost, all the time that has been wasted, or the money that has been wasted, or you have the option of being aware of what you still have. In a different video, interestingly enough, I was talking about a similar topic. Please remind me. I will add the link on the description to that video so you can check it out. But I was asking, like, are you going to dwell on the past or on the failures? For example, let's say somebody stole your idea in the past, stole your money or stole your idea. Like, did they steal your brain as well? Okay. Because that idea, as much as it was produced by your mind, you still have your mind, you can still produce some more. So have they really taken everything from you? In any situation, ask yourself, have you really lost everything? Everything? Not just your possessions as well, but also you yourself, what you embody, what you possess in your body. Have you lost everything? Or just your perspective, just your positivity? If you decide, okay, seeing that the card is upright, I will go with how it is, right? So this person is focusing on what they've lost. Chances are very high that they'll end up doing reckless things, which takes us to the next card, right? So this is the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands, as you can see, is the card of emotions. Actually, also the knight itself is a person on a quest, right? So you are in movement, but this person and fire. Fire is emotions, but hey, not it's similar to cups with emotions, but hey, it's those fiery emotions. So instead of mourning and crying, you could be angry. You see, similar to the swords cards actually, of spite and all of those things, meanness, bitterness. But if you the risk is high that if you adopt this perspective of, oh my goodness, things are so wrong, I have lost this, I've lost that, I will never be able to, crying over, I mean, once that wine hits the soil and gets in the ground, it's gone, you know. Are you going to dwell on that? And if you do, chances are high that even these ones you might end up accidentally destroying. Some people, let's say, I'll use a very, an example that is just coming to mind. Somebody loses their job, right? They are so sad, negative. They have a little bit of money left, and they go splurge that money and destroy it, so that they actually, instead of having a little have left, they have nothing left. You see, making situations worse. So when you are negative and you are crying and you are looking at all the things that have gone wrong, chances are high that you are going to do more wrong things. And not that if there's like a right or wrong, you get marks for it, but it's just the energy that you are in. If you are already mourning, and let's say you are not planning to even take this morning jacket off anytime soon, when the time is done for mourning for these ones, you will have to be forced to find another reason to mourn. Actually, you're in that energy, you see. So you'll end up going on a downward spiral. So interesting. There are spirals over here. I keep okay in my mind whenever I see this. I think of lizards. I don't know why, but anyways, for now, let's just say things will just keep spiraling downwards. Whereas, if you were to just have a change of perspective, maybe slow down, turn around, maybe instead of looking at the present and what is wrong, maybe look at the past for once, you see. But this is interesting. The past is usually on the left. But now, in this case, the past can be almost like the future, but looking at or for the future, not for the purpose of crying over spilled milk, but for the purpose of reflecting. Maybe I must make a video on that. Yeah, the difference between dwelling on the past and reflecting on the past. But anyways, looking at how things went right, what you've learned from the experience, what you've built, and what you see, just like looking back on all the things that you have accumulated, maybe in the form of knowledge or relationships, maybe the non-tangible things, right? If let's say maybe your home was broken into and your physical things were taken away, what non-physical things do you still have? You see, just as an example, what different kinds of, and what did you build, what did you learn, what can you still transfer to another business or to another area of your life? And that in itself, just reflecting on the past, on the good past, that what you still have from the past, can shape your future to a more positive and productive one. You see, fired up for success, not fired up out of anger, doing things recklessly. You see, because it will just lead to more distraction. So those are the different ways that one can respond to failure. More often than not, it is a matter of perspective, right? And the energy that you choose to embody, and always, all the time, everybody always has a choice. There isn't one way to anything. There's like opposing spectrums at all times, and the same situation can actually lead to different types of outcomes and results depending on the perspective adopted, right? It is understandable. We know that it is a heartbreaking thing. Failure doesn't just affect a person mentally. More often than not, it is very emotionally crushing to the point that it even becomes physically debilitating. But uh, the power, you know, now we are not just talking weak, okay, not weak or victim, but like we're talking power mode. We're taking the power, right? So we're not just dwelling on the reasons why things won't work. We are looking for places whereby a small change can make a big difference. Places whereby we can leverage the power, right? So the power is in the mind. The power is in perspective, right? Adopting it can also lead to emotional healing and acceptance, because acceptance is a mental thing. You see, accepting the situation, accepting your feelings, accepting acceptance, and then comes processing. You see, like, okay, so this is what it is this what it is? Okay, cool, fine, so let's get into it then. Or is this how the situation is? Okay, if you break down and cry, it comes after the mental realization of, okay, cool, or the acceptance of, oh, this is how the situation is. Or if you, after the crying in the morning and everything is done, when you decide to heal, it's accepting, okay, it's time to move on. See, so they are actually linked. As much as they say the mind and the heart, they are sometimes opposing each other, but yeah, the fact is that they are linked, Oxalayo, and they are related and they affect each other and mirror each other also. So yeah, that's what's up. um we're not saying don't cry. If you want to cry, cry. If you want to break down, break down. I mean, you're all in your right, but after the pain comes the healing. You have a choice to overcome. You see, even grief is a process. You see, go through the process, yes, but now don't get stuck on step one. You see, life moves on, everything flows, pain must flow, and pain exists so that you must heal. Also, if you are now getting stuck on the pain, it's like you're not moving from step one, guys. I know step one is important, but like the final step is the most important. You see, the starting point, yes, can be the most difficult, but it's not the most important. You see, but anyways, um yeah, that's it. That's about it.